Greetings everyone. Have you pre-ordered, as I did, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024? Have you been waiting eagerly to see what Microsoft has produced for us? And have you been disappointed, rather like I have been? This is the most expensive short film that I think I've ever seen on repeat. And I've literally got a headache now. Many people are experiencing difficulties with downloading and running Microsoft Flight Simulator 24. I'd like to say that you've come to the right place, but you haven't. But we can still talk about it, and I'll say a little bit about some of the problems that people are experiencing, so I guess you could feel less lonely. But also I'll talk a little bit about the sim content and why I am opting initially for the standard edition. Although any edition would do at the moment, to be entirely frank with you. But welcome to the Flying Doctor channel. Let's geek into it. Well, welcome folks, and yes, if you have downloaded Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, I suspect that you will be among many who are experiencing difficulties with the initial download. It was interesting to see that if you pre-ordered it, and I did, whole question there, because I think I got charged for the pre-order, but I have Game Pass, and I think it's part of Game Pass, so I'm like, whoa, what the heck's going on there? That's a separate issue. I'll look afterwards once I've actually got the sim running and see what Game Pass does for me. But nonetheless, a lot of people are experiencing a problem. Initially, if you preloaded, all you got was a small download. I think it was pretty much less than a gigabyte easily. And then when the sim begins to install, you're looking at about 10 gigabytes. I didn't have a problem getting through that step. I thought it's a bit light because it's supposed to be about 50, isn't it? And then when I came to starting the sim, well, I came across problems that plenty of other people have. So if you are struggling to get through past that kind of 4 to 6% mark, some people are finding that they're stuck on a little screen that, well, on the title bar it says authenticating assets or something like that. Another one is, as you can see here, people being stuck on about 97% for hours. So yes, slow download speeds, progress bars not going anywhere, crashes for some folks during installation. That is not funny, and I did restart and it went right the way back to the beginning. It didn't pick up what it had downloaded already, so it went right back to the beginning. And then server connection problems as well. So this has not been a smooth launch for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'm really disappointed because this is not a cheap product, and many people will have been hoping for a much smoother landing, so to speak. Community is really vocal about this. You can just go to any of the social media kind of sort of channels out there, forums, absolutely buzzing with players who are sharing their experience and frustrations. I say players, of course, there are those of us who approach it from a simulation perspective, but there's also a kind of game element to the sim itself. In fact, you know, I go away and just go and get a free flight on a helicopter or something like that. Do that over the weekend, because quite frankly it's going to be much better use of your time. If it's free or reduced price, it's probably going to be a good use of the money rather than sitting around waiting for this thing to download. Now, I wanted to say something from a helicopter perspective. As you know, I've majored really on helicopters, but I do fly fixed wing. Let's talk about the helicopters first. Most importantly, to let you know that I am actually opting for the standard edition. There's been one or two YouTube videos about what version are you going for. I thought people might be interested to know that I'm going with the standard edition, and I'll tell you why. The main reason is that just from a purely sim perspective, when I've actually wanted to pursue things at greater depth, I've gone to third-party developers to try and find quality aircraft, and they're still going to be available on the sim. You may well be aware that I've proud supporter of High Performance Group. There are other supporters out there as well. Blackbird Simulations is another one who've invested in helicopters. They've produced, for example, the Airbus H225, and Blackbird have produced 407. Hype produced the H225, and of course the H145 and the H160. And you can purchase those. And so I found that I've actually spent, significant amounts of money on purchasing third-party aircraft that are, it's debatable what the phrase means, but are more study level. And I've been quite happy with that. The other reason is that although the other versions of Microsoft Flight Simulator, the Deluxe, the Premium Deluxe, Aviator, whatever, although they give you more airports, in reality, whilst it's nice to be able to fly over certain parts of the world, I'm not really seeing that I'm going to lose that much if I just stick with the standard version. If you want additional airports, you can find those from the marketplace. You can buy them afterwards. It's kind of arguable, really, what will the pricing structure be like, but you certainly won't be lost. But also, I find, particularly when I've been flying fixed-wing aircraft, and I've flown, say, the Phoenix A380, that I've been more interested in the shorter hops. I know such things are they are done on fixed wings, perhaps Luton to Cardiff or something like that, or Manchester to Gatwick. And the reason for that is that the most stimulating parts of your flight experience online are actually takeoff and landing, all the preparation that you need to do. So my focus has been more around, say, using SimBrief to work in flight plans and to use Navigraph. And I am interested in looking out of the window, but it's the takeoff and the landing and the planning that gives the immersion for me, not just sort of hopping in any kind of range of aircraft. In fact, I dare say that I've probably touched no more than 25% of the aircraft that are available to me in the Premium Deluxe version that I've got at the moment of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So that may interest you. You do get more helicopters with the Deluxe edition. You get the Gumball Cadbury G2. You get the Robinson R66. And Premium Deluxe has the Sikorsky S64 Skycrane. Now that is featured on this introductory video. That's the heavy lift helicopter used for construction and firefighting. Also, the Airbus H225 is available as well. But I just kind of think, well, I can get that from the marketplace, and there may well be other third-party vendors offering things. I'm more interested to see how my additional add-ons can be woven into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I was hoping and anticipating an easier install of the basic flight simulator, but me to be scratching my head a little bit about how I link Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 with the add-ons I have, the community add-ons I had, and the paid-for add-ons I have for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So I'm, and so that's where I am on it, really. So I just that's just you might be interested just to know where I'm coming from, but this is a really expensive product as well when you start ramping up to the Deluxe Edition and the Premium Deluxe Edition. We have Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. You can see on my system that is, it says installed. It's not installed, and yes, it's owned. And then you've also got the Deluxe at $99.99 and the Premium Deluxe at $129.99, and then the Aviator Edition at, well, $199.99. Now, I think that is a lot of money. A lot of money. You can see here, I mean, there are one or two reviews here, and then they're not exactly complimentary. So in a queue, started the game, but there's a 50 gigabyte update. Only took 10 minutes, so no problem. Started game again and promisingly got through the first screens. Then, of course, was told that too many players are trying to play the game at the same time. So does that mean it's the player's fault? The game won't play. And yes, a bit further comment on there. So some people are actually getting through to be able to play the game, and there's too many people online for it. Ridiculous release, another comment there. And some concern around it being cloud-based. And that is a concern for me as well, because I'm thinking, what happens? I get about 50 megabytes per second. That's partly to do with where I happen to live here in the UK and what's available. But it's a good solid bandwidth that I do have. I mean, it's not. I know the bandwidth is about, but it's a solid, reliable kind of connection that I have, and I'm worried what this game's going to look like for anyone that's not got super duper fibre. So yeah, and another person there saying can't get past the queue. I've been there for ages. I'm sure we could see more. Let's load more. Oh yeah. Oh, been at 97%, 3 hours and still loading. Yeah, that's like me. And never had a more immersive loading experience in my life. That's Cheesy Gamer 18. I think we'll end it there. Yes, you're going to get an intensive experience as you journey with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. It's going to be immersive, all right. Yeah, you're going to be trapped in a world that you'd rather be out of. Thanks, folks, for watching. As I say, I'm really keen to see how Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 encourages me to post more. Do subscribe, and it's great to see folks, yes, subscribing and enjoying some of those videos, tutorials that I've done some time ago. So take care, folks. Stay safe.